Okay, let's mute. There we go. Wonderful. Bring up our Zoom. Oh, quick review. Turn my cell phone off. All right. So excited to be here today with this amazing panel. We are topping off our final day of Advocacy Week with the small business group here in North Carolina. Our topic today is equity in small business, advocating for small, diverse businesses in North Carolina. And as you know, the National Institute of Minority Economic Development, one of our strongest suits is small business, especially diverse or minority small businesses in our footprint, which includes very strongly North Carolina. So today we have with us on our, as I said before, our final day. We started with on Monday with education, equity in education. We then followed up with equity in housing. Then we led into equity in health and healthcare and had an amazing conversation. And now our panel on small business will round out our week of excellence. So Linda Brown and Sharice Brown. Now, so funny, both of you last names Brown. Did I just notice that? and my last name being Bat. So we are just the bees today, a big happy family. So I've worked with both of you before on numerous occasions. Rosalind, also thank you for being here today. You've done an amazing job with our advocacy week this week. We are going to jump right into just communicating with our panel here and then following through with a few questions that that we have for them as we kind of talk about what's going on with small business in North Carolina. So Linda Brown is a highly experienced leader in the fields of technology, healthcare, travel, and tourism. She's a strong believer in fostering a positive workplace culture and has an impressive track record of helping people to work together as a cohesive team. She holds a bachelor's degree in speech communication from the University of Washington, UW all the way, in Seattle, Washington, and currently serves as the president and CEO of the Asheboro Randolph Chamber of Commerce in Randolph County, North Carolina. Linda is committed to helping her staff reach their highest potential and is passionate about the growth of her local community. Thank you, Linda, for being with us today again.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here with you again today. I'm really excited to hear all the questions and hear more about what everybody's doing.
Absolutely. You never fail to keep us informed with what's going on. So we're excited to have you today, Linda.
Well, thank you.
And we also have Ms. Sharice Brown. Sharice Brown is an emerging leader experienced in the global compensation industry with a demonstrated history of working in non-profit organizational management and federal government. She is skilled in global compensation, U.S. Family and Medical Leave Act, interviewing, organizational development, recruiting, training, and process improvement. She's a strong business development professional with a graduate certificate focused in project management from George Washington University, a master's in human resources management, and a bachelor's in international business from Marymount University. Ms. Brown advises, consults with organizations regarding their most valuable resources, which is their employees, by recommending and implementing mindful changes to their total rewards program through a meaningful, diverse, and equitable lens. So Cherise, thank you so much for being with us, and we're excited to see you again today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here, and I look forward to the questions and contributing to help implement business development for small business. So.
Absolutely. So I am excited to say that I've known both of you now on various occasions from either our events or from our Equity Advocacy Certificate program, which we can't wait to hear more about that from your lens, Cherise. But just off the top, I guess I would say, each of you kind of just tell me in your own words what you do in your line of work or in your place of business through your lens, and just kind of give the viewers an idea of what you bring to the table and how you work in your daily function or operation of life. And I'll start with you, Linda.
Well, I wasn't expecting that. We've got so many different initiatives. We've got 22 different programs, initiatives, events, things that we are involved in. We have kind of become a convener of people in our community and spend a lot of time working on that. In fact, my phone just keeps buzzing and buzzing with, we've got so much going on with all the industry moving to this region. With Toyota and Boom Supersonic, Wolfspeed, VinFast. We are actively involved and engaged with the community college, the school districts for workforce development. In fact, was in Raleigh yesterday, lobbying for some more money for workforce development. We've got, and so that's at one level, but another level is being mindful of our largest employer, which is small business, and the part that they play and the importance they play, especially in light of the abundance of new business startups that we've had since COVID. We've had over a 62% increase in new business startups, and without some sort of support or assistance, 70% are doomed to fail. So we focus a lot on that as well. So,
and I'm sure that the technical resources that you all provide, along with funding opportunities, we'll deep dive into that a little bit more, but all definitely utilized by small businesses because of, like you said, the growth that's been occurring in North Carolina over the past 2 to 3 years is just incredible. And you named a couple of the companies in the area. Everybody's very excited about that growth in that area. And Cherise, could you tell us a little bit about on your daily operation?
Yeah, so my daily operations, right now I work for a nonprofit as a global compensation advisor. And so what I do day to day is I help my organization with their most valuable asset, which is our employees, and determine what is the best total compensation packages for our employees to help recruit new candidates as well as retain our current staff. Something that I've been doing on the side, though, is trying to launch and develop my own small business, which is a consulting company, an HR consulting company called Lotus HR Consulting. And some of the things that I've benefited from the resources within North Carolina and their network is through the Chamber of Commerce's, where I'm currently located, which is Jacksonville, Onslow County, and through the small business center at the local community college, as well as the Enterprise Entrepreneurship Institute through UNCW. So there's a plethora of opportunities available to us, as well as resources. We just got to learn how to tap into those resources and where to go. The National Institute, especially the research policy section, helped with me going through the equity advocacy program. And this has helped me in my day-to-day, not only in my current position to help advocate internally for my employees, for my colleagues, but also advocate externally through learning how to contact the local civil representatives at the local level, as well as the state and the national level. So this is what I do on from day to day, is just try to find opportunities to network and collaborate within these resources that are available to us throughout the state.
Fantastic. So many different programs were familiar from what you just said, but speaking mostly and following up on the Equity Advocacy Certificate program, we at the Research Policy Impact Center have now had two cohorts of Equity Advocacy Certificate, and we have a third cohort that is coming in June, I think June 16th, in Richmond, Virginia, where we will have a cohort of woman-owned businesses to participate as well in a one-day kind of customized program that we've kind of strategically placed for them. And so tell me a little bit about your experience in the Equity Advocacy Certificate program and how you were led in the State House Day with the legislature's offices, and how that impacted you, or just kind of tell us a little bit more about that experience.
It was an excellent experience and opportunity. I had the opportunity to meet others that are in the same position as I am. They might be at different levels, but within trying to establish a network and build their businesses, their small businesses. So just having that opportunity, learning how to not only pitch to speak to our legislators, but also learning how to pitch our businesses if we had the opportunity to go before a venture capitalist opportunity. So just learning the basis and the foundation in order to pitch our business, and learning how to express our interests, our special interests in things that we're passionate about in front of our legislators. I think that's very valuable and important. So given the opportunity that was provided to me, we had the opportunity to go before the state legislators, before some House and Senate representatives, and I was put on the spot. So just being able to be put on the spot and just state what I was interested in, advocate for small businesses, especially minority-owned, women-owned businesses. And not that, I also got to speak about other special interests like pay equity and instituting a living wage as opposed to minimum wage. So just having that opportunity to see how things work, having that access and that network is valuable. And I don't think I'll be able to duplicate it anywhere else. So just having that opportunity, it encouraged me, because usually I'm kind of laid back and timid and an introvert. So being put on the spot made me stand up and encouraged me and supported me to believe in myself. And so it gave me not only personal opportunities, but professional opportunities. So I greatly appreciate that.
Wow, that's excellent. Thank you for that, Sharice. The goal is always to expose our small or diverse businesses to opportunities that they wouldn't necessarily have, maybe coming from rural towns or rural counties. And that's just wonderful to know that you had that experience and that you were able to impact not only yourself, but others around you. And please keep talking about it, because you are, whether you're put on the spot or not, you always excel and do a great job in representing
Thank you.
the program. So thank you for that.
Thank
And so now, Linda, tell me a little bit about the role of small business in current economy from two perspectives. With the percentage of small businesses that you work with in the North Carolina area, and how you feel possibly certifications might be of importance to them as another step of what small businesses can do outside of the technical experience that Sharice was just speaking of, but as another step that they can do to put themselves in the forefront of the small business arena in North Carolina?
Well, you put it in a real good way. It's so competitive finding employees now. And having certifications is one. If you go ahead and you get the certification and that's part of your job posting, that you're certified, whatever that certification is, that sends a message to the people that are applying that tells them a little bit more about the type of organization that they're looking at going to work for. And so I think certifications are important in that regard. And it also helps because a lot of small businesses are generational. And just because, grandpa started it and then his son took it over and then maybe his daughter, it doesn't mean they necessarily know everything. You don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And I think achieving certification helps you understand, yeah, I understand what this is about, and I've gone through and taken the steps to educate myself or our organization on it. And I think, it's kind of like, I'm trying to think of, you think of cars that have the fish on the back that designates they're Christian. And a lot of times you'll see the little Christian fish in an ad, and it tells you just a little bit more about that organization than if they didn't have it there. So I think, certifications, not only educating yourself so you know what you're doing and you're providing the best you possibly can, it also helps send a message about your organization and kind of where you are on things.
Excellent. I think certifications have become even more relevant. They've always been relevant, but in the as post-COVID, I guess, going through the ability to gain access to capital, having specific certifications was definitely necessary, as a lot of small businesses were applying for things like funding, like retool funding or other funding that was being dispersed from a local, state, or federal level. And so having your MWBE or MBE or DBE or ACDBE, and those are a lot of letters. So, but understanding what those mean, first of all, and then also finding out what the process is to apply for those was definitely complementary to those that were looking for funding throughout this time of post-COVID. So do you, Sharice, have any of those certifications, or have you ever gone through the process of or helping with any of those certifications or other certifications that were impactful to your small business?
Process as of yet. I literally just launched my business about maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago.
Right.
So, but some of the certifications, I'm aware of the certifications that are available, and some of the certifications that I'm interested in is like the SBE, which is the Small Business Enterprise Certification, the HUB, which is the Historically Underutilized Business Certification, and then WBE, which is the Women Business Enterprise Certification. And then there was one that I recently found out about that I wasn't aware of, but it's called SPSF, which is Special Professional Services Firms, which I would qualify for because it's certification for consultant firms. So I'm interested in that. And then there's the others like DBE and MBE, which Minority Business Enterprise. And these certifications are very valuable because, like you said, it brings opportunities to funding that might not be there for us otherwise. And it opens up the field to give us an even playing field. And so I'm very interested in that. And I know that there's resources out there, like through the Chamber of Commerce, as well as the National Institute, as well as the local community college, that will help you through the process so that if you have any questions or you're unsure, that the resources are there. And it's very valuable that the state, North Carolina State, continues to invest in these so that we have those opportunities and the education for us to have these opportunities and understand the importance of these processes.
Absolutely. And speaking of the programs that are out there, the Equity Advocacy Certificate Program, one of the modules that are over the 3-day period during that cohort, one of the things that we did cover in detail was the different types of certifications, the process. And as we move into our, I think, 4th cohort, which will happen, I think, in September. But as we move through that, we will be spending a day where we're actually filling out that paperwork and walking people through how to process applications and to help them to get closer to having those certifications under their belt for their small business. Definitely all helpful and definitely all things that everyone should look into. So tell us a little bit about any specific programs or technical assistance support opportunities you provide for minority and woman-owned businesses. And if there's any, speak to the criteria, deadlines, qualifications needed to pursue these opportunities through the chamber.
We've got several different initiatives. One that's been real successful, we partnered with the City of Asheboro and Venture Asheboro, which is a business incubator and business consulting organization. They put together Black business accelerators. We've had 2 of those. I think there's a 3rd one going on right now, and we've had a woman-owned accelerator program that was called Entrepreneur Her. And so more than 30 businesses, minority-owned businesses, have been assisted through this. And there's been some really great things about it. So it's an 8-week program, and they get together once a week and go through this. And it's a full day of different speakers. They cover topics like how to start a business, writing a business plan, legal considerations, how to do market research and marketing, how to establish a relationship with a banker, all kinds of different things like that. And then they paired them, each person in the program was paired up with a member of the Mid-State Rotary Club in Asheboro. So they had a mentor that was assisting them. And coming out of this has been some great things. There's a fashion designer. They did a feature on her on PBS, and she talked about the program. It was a great spot, but there's also been others. So one of them is called Pugs and Mugs, and it's in Seagrove. And the guy had some property, and he created a safe and healthy dog park, and also has a bottle store and a barista. So you can get a coffee, drink, or have a beer while your dog is playing in the dog park. And what a unique idea, but it works. And so he's been successful with that. There have been several others, including construction development, housing development, that kind of thing. So it's just been a wide spectrum of the types of businesses that have been assisted. And there was also one through the Small Business Center that ended with a pitch competition where funding was available once they finished the 8 weeks through that program. They were able to make pitches, and then money was rewarded or awarded to the winner of that. So that was a great one. But we also have, it was called the Business Gym, and that's it's available 24/7, 365. It's a training portal and it's free. Anybody can go to, and it's got 5 to 8 minute videos that cover everything from how to start a business, how to write a business plan, how to find your commercial spot, different types of leases that are typical if you're leasing for a business. Our planning and zoning department for the city did some on how to go through that process with them. And a lot of downloadable information, how to write a business plan for an established business or a startup, and just all kinds of great things. And we got hit with a cease and desist because it turns out there was a woman in New York City that had trademarked the words "The Business Gym" for her business consulting and entrepreneur training company. And I think she's a one-woman band, but I was advised, well, just ask her for permission. You're in North Carolina, she's in New York City. But the thing is, if somebody meets her and they Google her to try to find her website or more information, they'll find us, and we're free and we provide the same thing. And as a Chamber of Commerce, it's not our place to ask a small business owner who's gone through the steps to make an exception for us. I just didn't feel comfortable with that. So we've come up with a new name. We're working with a trademark attorney, and it'll be the Enterprise Elevator, where opportunities are going up. And there'll be two sides to it. One side has everything that had been part of the business gym, and that elevator door will open and you can pick which floors to go to for the different types of content. And then we're doing a new one, and Sharice, we're going to be going through that certification process, helping local businesses and industries learn what they need to know to qualify to bid on contracts, whether it's with state or local government, or maybe it's just being able to contract with our local hospital to provide products or services, or the North Carolina Zoo, they're right here. So all of that information all that content will also be on Enterprise Elevator, and that's a separate elevator to help with that process. So that's coming. So be on the lookout for that.
That's impressive. So I like the fact that you all were able to pivot and that you kept the small business owner in mind when making that decision, because sometimes big business doesn't take small business under consideration, and that was stellar. But I like the new name even better. So it worked out great on both ends, and what's to come is gonna be exciting with all the opportunities so tell me again, the Enterprise Elevator?
Where opportunities are going up.
Where opportunities are going up. I love it. I love it. It couldn't have worked out better.
Good, I'm glad.
So Sharice, with that being said, you definitely have to take note, because you want to be where opportunities are going up, right? In a situation with Enterprise Elevator through the Chamber of Commerce. So add that to your list of to-dos. So can you speak of any, I know you said earlier, you listed kind of a group of certifications that you were connected with and things that you were looking into. There was one specific, I would just like to know if you could repeat that. It was the SPSS for, could you repeat that?
Sure.
For me.
Yeah, sorry. It's SPSF, and it's Specialized Professional Services Firms, and it's a certification for consulting companies. And it falls under the SBA, and the rest of the certifications is similar to minority owned, but it's specific to just professional consulting firms that might want to contract with the government as well, and get like professional contracts with the government. So I was interested in that.
So good to know. My question was going to be to you if that fell under the SBA. So you answered the question before I even had an opportunity to ask it. So with that being said, the SBA is also a very good place to tap into, where there are lots of different certifications that will help you as a small business, and also will lead you to a lot of other smaller organizations that may be local to you that will help you work through the processes of applying for those certifications under the SBA title. So thank you for that. That's always a good, SBA is always a good entity to look into for those types of things. So looking now at all of the opportunities, you have technical assistance opportunities and programs, assistance and support through so many organizations, including our own. With us, we have the 4 women's business centers that are strategically located throughout North Carolina and Virginia. We have the Women's Business Center of North Carolina located in Durham, the Women's Business Center of Charlotte located in Charlotte, Women's Business Center of Greensboro that is the only women's business center that is on a all-female college campus, which is at Bennett College in North Greensboro, North Carolina. And then we have the Women's Business Center of Richmond in Richmond, Virginia. So lots of different places to get that type of technical assistance through the National Institute of Minority Economic Development as well. But looking into loan and grant opportunities, there's a lot of assistance out there for programs, but speak to me about any loan or funding or grant or any type of monetary assistance that you might be aware of for small businesses, or that you could possibly have taken advantage of during the fallout of COVID, post or during, that you may have participated in, that you can speak to for knowledge for some of our small businesses in the area.
Yeah, thank you for that question. That's a really good question. There's a lot of programs out there, especially with the environment, the way that it is, and events that have taken place over the past 3 years. There's more opportunities open to minority-owned businesses, women-owned businesses. I know that Verizon has a grant program. I haven't applied to it yet, but I know that it's available there, as well as Google and other places. But one that I particularly participated in, and I'm thankful for because it really helped me move forward within my business process, as well as going to the equity advocacy program with the Research Policy Institute, is a partnership between the local community college, which is Coastal Carolina here in Oslo, and a local bank here, which is Marine Federal Credit Union. And it was similar to what you said, Linda, where it was a Pitch It program. So it was an 8-week business program, and it had a lot of valuable information. And then what we had to do is go before like a panel and pitch our business. And what happens is once they upload the videos of us on their website, the public votes to see which one they like the most. And then whoever wins get over $8,000 in funding, as well as their website, promo materials such as their website, a headshot, and things of that nature. So that was a great opportunity. And it was built through a partnership and a network of collaboration through not only the Small Business Center, but also people that went through the program before. They came back and spoke to us and gave us advice. And there was other like people visiting from the Chamber of Commerce here, and then with the business and the Small Business Center and the local community college. So it was a great opportunity. And these opportunities are available throughout the state. I know that more are trying to do these accelerator programs and incubator programs to help small businesses be successful, because doing research, one of the things that I noticed is that within the first year, most small businesses fail. Over 50% of small businesses fail. So it's valuable, and we need these types of programs to make sure that we have a strong foundation. And the mentorship, that's another critical thing that's needed for us to be successful. So making sure that we have that mentorship, that foundation, so that we can be successful and recognize North Carolina for being the #1 place for a business to launch. So having those resources and making sure that we work on the local level as well as the state level to with our legislators to make sure that we keep that funding, keep these programs open so that we can be successful.
Excellent. Thank you. That is so true. Keeping opportunities open. We talked earlier about State House Day and visiting our local and state federal leaders and learning how to advocate for yourself as you continue to do through our EACP Equity Advocate Certificate program. And one of the things that small businesses should always stay abreast of is knowing who your state legislative members are and what their platforms are, because they directly impact you as a small business with the types of policies that are being passed. So know who your state legislature is, understand what's on the floor, what bills are being passed, what policies are being represented in your area, because as a small business, you are being impacted. And so as Sharice was saying, it's important to keep these programs going, and it's important for state funded programs to continue to fund programs so that these doors will continuously be open for our small businesses. So yes, you're absolutely correct. And we talk about this all the time. So I feel like I'm preaching to the choir, but yes. So, Linda, do you, as far as opportunities that we were speaking of through the chamber, can you reflect on that as well?
Yes, there were a lot of challenges when the state and federal government were awarding money or making money available to support small businesses that had been affected because of COVID, and a lot of bumps along the way. So we spent a lot of time for members that got in touch with us, helping them navigate some of the application process, contacting our state legislators when things were getting really hung up and you couldn't seem to get an answer anywhere. And some of it was just even simply people trying to get their unemployment because they'd been furloughed for a time. And you might recall they'd launched a new system to apply for that in North Carolina, and it really got bogged down. So a lot of time and energy was spent on that. We actually just picked up the phone and called all of our members just to check in, see how they're doing. We did it twice during COVID. And, when you have almost 800 members, that's a lot of phone calls, and it's hearing a lot of stories. And we laughed and we cried with a lot of people. But in the end, I mentioned the pitch competition, and our small business center at Randolph Community College led that initiative. And we've stepped in and helped wherever we can. We also got a grant from Duke Energy, their foundation, the Duke Foundation, to assist businesses in revitalizing. A lot of stored capital that these small businesses had got spent just keeping their doors open and their bills paid when they couldn't accommodate people. We had hair salons, we had gyms, we had daycares, we had all kinds of things that couldn't operate. And to keep things afloat, they dipped in or borrowed money. And so the revitalization grant we got, we were able to help about 15 different businesses in a way that was really meaningful for them. And so we were happy to be involved in that. And then our RCC Small Business Center told me that he's got another chunk of money available and wants to find a way that we can use it to help some of these smaller businesses. So we may do some awards. I've put in a call to a couple of my peers in the chamber world. I know the Wilmington Chamber, they're a chamber EDC, and they got some funding and were able to make grants available. And so we want to try to follow some established models because that helps in determining what kind of criteria, deadlines, applications you might want to do in support of that. But we're definitely eager to help point people in any direction for free money. That's the best money there is. And we're all about that. So anything we can do to help with that. But the other thing that we've done that I wanted to mention, like with Enterprise Elevator, we've been doing it with the business gym, but there will be an area that we call turnkey solutions, and that's promoting our small local businesses. So for example, Sharice, as a new business owner, a lot of times, if you don't know of a printer, for example, you'll just Google business cards and you order them online from Vistaprint. And you know what? You've got printers in your hometown that can do it just as quick, and it helps support a business that's maybe supporting your local Y or the high school booster club, or you know, and it's the small businesses that make all of those services available in our communities and make that happen, whether it's, you know, because they support their church, or they support United Way, or you know, they support the Y Youth Theater, whatever it is. We wouldn't have the societies we do, the communities we do, if not but for those small businesses. So anything we can do to promote what's here and encourage people, you know, don't go online. In fact, we had a whole campaign during the holidays that's step back from the mouse and get out of the house. Or put down the mouse and get out of the house, to go do some local shopping.
That's excellent. First of all, the fact that you all took the time or had the energy to make over 800 calls, as opposed to sending a mass distribution email or a mass distribution text message, says a lot about your efforts into helping small businesses feel comfortable and work through the process of bouncing back from COVID and other things. So thank you for that, because I'm pretty sure I would have loved to have gotten a phone call, because I would have been one of those crying people, I'm sure. So, laughing and crying together is always better than laughing and crying alone. So definitely kudos for that. And then you spoke about free money. Free money is definitely always the best money, and money you don't have to pay back, obviously. For those that are all looking, small businesses that are looking for these opportunities, I know you were saying that models like UNCW model, or in Wilmington, is there a space on your website, on your social media, mass distribution email, or is it all of it combined, that small business owners would be able to consistently find these opportunities that you're putting out? Like, how are you housing them? I know you spoke of a couple of different areas within the chamber, that different people working on things. Is there one place that this information is housed so that you go straight to funding opportunities on the website, or how do I find that information after this call?
When you figure that out, let me know.
That's always the interesting part, right? Finding the money. Where's the money? Where's the money?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, whenever we get fed information from a lot of different places. And so we'll get things from the North Carolina Chamber of Commerce, or we'll hear things from the Department of Labor, or the Department of Commerce, or the Small Business Center. And anything we get that provides opportunities, whether it's low interest loans, free money, training, anything at all, we put it out in social media, and we put it out in our, we have a digital newsletter that goes out every Monday. And we're really lucky. It's got a 37% open rate. So we get a lot of people looking at it. It goes out to over 2,000 email addresses. And then we ask our local EDC, because our chamber and EDC are separate organizations here, and our Tourism Development Authority and other partners we have, Venture Asheboro, for example, and we share that information so everybody can put it out through their networks. And we kind of take a shotgun approach, because no single one way is going to be the best. And our website is actually being redesigned as we speak and should be going live anytime. But we definitely want to have an area, if something big has come up, we'll put it right on the top of our website, and so people can click through to get to it.
Perfect. And I'm going to ask one more. Maybe it's not a hard question, but it's just sometimes as small business owners, especially the small business owners of color, maybe when you say the words free money, people get a little skeptical about, like, free money. Is this really free money? What am I gonna owe? Is it gonna come back to haunt me? Am I gonna get a bill in the mail in 2027 that says that I owe $10 million back? So, so people can be a little skeptical. Do you all have programs, or Sharice, have you attended programs that build trust in the community, or among business owners? I know that the chamber has tons of different programs that are always going on, but speaking mostly to maybe trust building and collaborating with small businesses that will get them out there and help them to believe more in what we're doing, to help move the impact for small businesses in North Carolina. Do you all see that happening within your areas, or even anywhere that you may have attended?
Well, I'll tell you, at the start of COVID, I got a lot of emails from the U.S. Chamber, the Association of Chamber of Commerce Executives, all of them saying, you speak for the minority community, you're citizens of color, and you need to, and this was when the George Floyd thing and a lot of marches were going on, and you need to represent this community, and you need to be helping and assisting them. And the reality was, our chamber did not have a relationship with our community of color. Not that it was anti anything, it's just that minority-owned businesses didn't gravitate to the Chamber of Commerce. And some of it is a language issue. We've got a large Hispanic community here. And part of it was simply not having been invited. And so I started meeting with some of the Black leadership in our community, and I said, I would never presume for our chamber to speak for you on anything. We don't have a relationship. We don't know each other. And we needed to establish that trust. And we've reached out probably farther than we should have, but we've really reached out, and with great intention have done a lot of things to build that relationship and to gain that trust. And to the point now where among our chamber members, we've got the Randolph County Republican Party, the Randolph County Democrat Party, the Randolph County NAACP, and the Sons of Confederate Veterans. So we've got them all. But we've also had to really tiptoe through some issues that have come up. And and I've just been very candid with folks. I grew up in Washington State in a logging town. The only people of color were Native Americans. And so I'd never seen racial prejudice or bias until I moved to the South. And it broke my heart hearing some of the stories. I mean, it literally broke my heart. And it's made me very mindful. And sometimes I feel like I'm kind of tiptoeing, but anything we can do, I grew up with a family that owned a small business. And so I know what it's like when you have your name on the door and the responsibility that carries. Anything we can do, I don't care if they're aliens from Mars. If they want to be a contributing member of the community, we're going to do everything in our power to make them feel welcome and make them feel like they are welcome to be a part of things. And so I guess that's just a very long way of saying that we've built trust the old-fashioned way in our community by bringing people together and just kind of having candid conversations about the way people talk or the way they phrase things, or just kind of breaking down some barriers and just making people comfortable kind of talking about the topic and finding out, well, how can I make you feel more welcome? How can I make you feel like you have a say and you have a voice that is equally heard? And so it's just been a kind of a learning experience for me that I've really embraced. And I feel like it's opened my eyes to a lot of things. And our board of directors, by the end of COVID, we were 36% racially diverse on our board of directors. And prior to that, I don't know that we had any people of color at all. So we're trying to walk the talk as well, and just doing everything we can. So.
And I think the effort is obviously necessary, but the effort it shows in all the accomplishments that you've made and the impact that you've made in the community in that area, Linda. So thank you for that candid honesty with where you guys were and how you're making an impact to move forward. I think all 100 counties in North Carolina should probably look at that a little more carefully and talk about and define what diversity really means, because as we know, defining diversity can come up with a lot of different answers. And so because people define it differently. And so once you collaborate and you agree on a definition, then you can move forward with impact. But first you have to agree on what it means and what that looks like and what it doesn't look like now, move forward with what it needs to look like in the future. So that's amazing, and I feel really good about that. Sharice, did you want to? I'm sorry, I think we may have lost Sharice, and we're bringing her back into the group now. So I apologize for that. Sharice, are you with us? All right, she is. She's reconnecting. So Sharice, are you with us? Okay. Well, I think that Sharice will come back with us whenever she's back. I think she got kicked out, and that's our new world experience with technology and being on Zoom and having these types of meeting experiences. So with that being said, I think that we are drawing very closely to our 1 hour time frame. So I think we have time for maybe one more round of questioning. Linda, so as we close out, tell our listeners just anything else that you would want them to know about your particular area at the Commerce, and then how they can connect with you for more information, membership opportunities, business opportunities, funding opportunities, anything you can think of that you want to share, and then how they can connect with you.
Well, thank you for that opportunity. And Sharice, it's good to see you again.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
No,
Was it
no
something
problem
I said?
No, Linda, I just want to say that what you said was very powerful. It's a sensitive subject to navigate, and you navigate it very well. And just to say something really quick is the Chamber of Commerce is an excellent place to network, not only at the local level, because a lot of the civil representatives at the local level will come to Chamber of Commerce events. And so that is a great place to establish that trust.
Mhm.
And so through opportunities here at the Chamber of Commerce where I'm located, I've had opportunities to meet civil representatives and establish that network and that collaboration and that trust. And so I just wanted to say that you were spot on. So thank you for sharing that. And I hope that those that are watching that are part of the Small Business Network understand that if they want to get in and start advocating for issues that are dear to their heart or they're passionate about, the Chamber of Commerce is that open door, is that step into that area for them to be an advocate.
Well, thank you for that. As far as getting in touch with us, the best way is we're a phone call or email away. Our all our contact info is at our website. It's chamber.ashboro.com. And again, you'll see our old website. The new one is nearly finished. But our phone number, 336-626-2626. It's kind of like banana, lots of 62626. But we'd welcome to hear from anybody, any comments, any thoughts about other types of information we can provide that will help small businesses, and put it in Enterprise Elevator. We'd be happy to do that. We'd love to do that. And Sharice, I may come knocking on your door to get some HR advice to put on there, because that's an area a lot of people don't think about nearly enough.
Yeah, thank you. I'm here and I'm available anytime. So
Absolutely. Thank you. That's what the networking is all about. We always come out of this knowing more people and making a better impact by collaborating together. Sharice, did you have any closing statements? We are rounding out our hour, and we lost you for a few minutes, but you're back. And so did you have any closing statements or for your business or contact information or anything of that nature?
yeah, so there's a few things that I want to state. That this was a wonderful opportunity, so thank you. Those that are out there watching and listening, please look into the Research Policy Institute Advocacy Certification Program. That's a great opportunity. The information that you receive there is useful and helpful, so I will definitely support looking into that. Also, again, reach out to your local Chamber of Commerce. Those are great network opportunities and collaboration. So thank you for this. And I just want to say, in order to contact me, you can either contact me through 2 emails. It's either Lotus, LOTUS, HR Consulting @outlook.com. Or my other email is S as in Sam, L as in Larry, B as in boy RALNC21 @outlook.com. And you can reach me at either one of those emails. I frequently review those. So those are the ways to reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sharice. Well, it has been, as usual, a powerful conversation about what's going on with small businesses, opportunity that small diverse businesses have throughout the state of North Carolina, what the Chamber has going on with programs and networking and connections, as well as the National Institute of Minority Economic Development's Research Policy and Impact Center's Equity Advocacy Certificate Program, which is a mouthful, but you can find us at the institutenc.org. That's theinstitutenc.org, and just look into the Research Policy and Impact Center, and you will find there on our website an entire layout of the equity advocacy program that we have, when our next cohorts are, as well as you'll be able to find a recap of this session on our YouTube page, which you can also find from the website, theinstitutenc.org. My name is Talitha Batts, and I have had the privilege of hosting Ms. Linda Brown, Ms. Sharice Brown, Ms. Rosalind Moffitt on our final day of Advocacy Week with Equity in Small Business, advocating for small diverse businesses in North Carolina. Thank you all again. A round of applause for all of you. It has been an amazing week, an amazing session, and thank you so much for your attention and time. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.